Okay, hi everyone. Hi Sla, Maya, Carrie, hi Femox. Okay, so hope everyone's doing fine. Hi Petka. Okay, so today we'll be moving on with the portrait right there. So I've only done like 2 layers yet, so I think a couple more could be okay. Like from far away, it feels like it's all fine, and like portrait doesn't need to be sort of changed, but not don't necessarily need to change it. There's still, when you get closer, there's still some things that need to be transformed. So that's what I'll be doing. No, I don't have this computer. I don't have it. Okay. Hey Mike. Hi C Diesel. It's alright, Maya. You don't have to like be here every time. It's cool when you're here. We could do it about Freud, although I think the next it's gonna be either, I don't know. I've had like more requests for like Turner or somebody like this. Okay. Salut Stéphanie. Eh bien, je vais continuer sur ce portrait aujourd'hui. Je vais rajouter quelques petites variations ici et là. Voilà. Okay. Yeah, I should have done a straw poll, I think. But yeah, Sargent was mentioned a lot. All right, so the highlight on this forehead is a little bit too large, and too white. So I'm like just straight up repainting. I don't really care too much in this. The previous layer is going to be part of the new one. There's going to be things that you can see through, and there will be things that I will leave alone. But just working more always means better results. Like sometimes some artists, painters, like beginning artists, beginning painters, feel that, oh yeah, I've got something quite satisfying right now, so I should not touch it. Like I fear that painting a new layer is going to be bad for the painting, but it's never bad. Like it's always better if you know what you're doing, of course, because like you can also end up creating a mess. But like for this one, I sort of went for a slightly more yellowish hue. If you're painting layers, of course, if it's because if you're looking for something like Sargent, for instance, then in that case painting more layers is not necessarily better for what you're going for. Nazla football, you have to behave and not troll, please. Salut Jean-Marc. Ouais, j'aime beaucoup César Santos. Un artiste qui a l'air extrêmement amical. So I'm going to use both burnt sienna and ivory black because I need variation. Like I'm going to use my ivory black as a sort of a blue, just to tone down the warm hues. I'm going to use the burnt sienna as a warm element. Non, je fais pas particulièrement l'hyperréalisme, César Santos, c'est plutôt une approche très mêlée entre contemporain et figuratif classique, on va dire. Last Saturday. No, yeah, well, yeah, it was last Saturday, but I didn't touch the portrait last Saturday, so at least you didn't miss that. It's pretty radical what I'm doing to the forehead right now, but the forehead is what's the most wrong yet. I mean, it's not disturbing, so before you could see the forehead like it was and say, oh, it's normal, but when you look at the model, it was really really way too light, so I'm like redoing it entirely. And also because I have used it for modifying the drawing and stuff, so it was very it's been mistreated a lot, so I'm kind of redoing the entire thing. Hi Nicolas, thank you. Écrit en peinture, je sais pas, je crois que j'ai 4 ans, quelque chose comme ça. En dessin, bah forcément plus, quoi. Relax. No, not necessarily, Vox. Just like I was saying, it's not just because something looked quite finished doesn't necessarily mean it is. Like, I still found that there were some parts that need to be changed, and this forehead was quite wrong, even though it was not disturbing, but it still was quite wrong, and there was a lot of disturbing marks on it, because I read this part of the drawing. I mean, it was in a bad condition, and just doing another layer is going to allow me to have even more complexity. Like, I still need to reduce the nose, like it's a little bit too pinched. what aspects of Vermeer catch my attention? Just like I said in the episode on Vermeer last time, what I like is the sense of atmosphere and the realistic use of light. Just a little bit of yellow ochre and titanium white and burnt umber, I'd say, and that should be enough. Like, there's a lot less yellow ochre than you think. Just try to pollute your yellow ochre with the burnt umber. Yeah, this sfumato is just lots and lots of fine layers of glazing, just like what I'm doing, but like I'm still painting very solid. But for a sfumato, you'd go like on this transition, like so, and then wait for it to dry, and then go back again, and then work on this transition like so, and over again until like it's perfect. It's layer after layer after layer. It doesn't necessarily have to be only glazing, or I mean, you can paint quite solid if you want. It's just layer and layer. It's like, see, this transition is I'm kind of like taking away all the brush marks by gently brushing off the transition. So you do that once, and then you do it again, making it better. And every time you wait for it to dry and come back, and you still do like quite the same area, the same colors, the same way, over and over again, like up like 4, 5, 6 times if you need, whatever, and then you will end up with a sfumato. Well, see you, Nicolas. But again, I do think that about the sfumato, it's I think like Da Vinci has made it very famous, but it gives a false impression that it's more complicated than it really is. It's just like many artists have done it, just not as much as Da Vinci. He just made it like a very, very important part of his painting technique. But all artists can do a sfumato, like just trying to get rid of a harsh edge. That's already doing sfumato. Just after something is dry, go over it with some color, and that makes it a sfumato. So, but Da Vinci made it famous, and now many people think it's very complicated, and it's some kind of another of Da Vinci's secret, but nah, it's not really a secret. It's quite straightforward. It's just get rid of these transitions. I can't say how much I would charge. It depends. Merci, Usma. Ouais, bah, la dernière fois j'avais essayé, mais c'était. Enfin, je pouvais pas accéder à tes dessins du coup, donc c'est ce que je t'avais répondu. Mais du coup, là, je suis pas retourné voir entre deux. Donc. Je suis pas forcément un acharné de Facebook, donc. the value scale at master level. Well, it's once you have once you know that you need a value scale, it's not that hard. Well, but if you don't use a value scale, it's harder to color mixing is much harder. But if you use a value scale, it's quite easy. Wireless phone charger. I think this would be a new revolution if they can come up with a way to transfer energy into thin air. But the wireless charger is quite sounds very good. Now, many masters tell their palette. It's not like the secret is not in the palette choice. I mean, that's just a choice. But you can get the same thing with different pigments. It doesn't really matter. The pigments are except for a few very exceptional hues. The pigments that you choose are not really relevant. As long as you have a blue, yellow, red. Hey, Comme. The brown is burnt umber. It's the only brown I'm using. I don't really know a lot of other browns that could be better. What brushes do I use? No, it's only hog bristles and a few sables, but no, I haven't touched it yet. And I was using a fan brush right there for the forehead because this is a panel, which is unusual for me. I don't always use panels, and it's very smooth. So to sort of get rid of that smooth boringness, I kind of use a fan brush to give a little bit texture. Hello, Guido. Salut Béranger. See, this nose was a little bit too small. I'm making it a little bit wider. Hey Jackie. Edges between values. Well, yeah, it's quite easy when it's wet on dry. When it's wet on wet, it's very hard, but once you go wet on hard, it gets very simple. The key thing is not necessarily edges, but keeping the values. Even when there's transitions. No, but wet on dry is just like, first you paint wet on wet, and you don't panic if it doesn't go as you want, and you let it dry, and that's it. You go back and finish what you want. Well, it depends what your intention is. Generally, wet on dry is for artists that want more realism, more like accuracy, perfection, and wet on wet is for artists that want more expressivity. Darkening the burnt umber can be done with ultramarine blue or ivory black. Bonsoir Devenix Gaming. Well, there is no real way to. I said I don't generally use black too much. It's true, but there is no way to make burnt umber darker than what it is. So if you want to make it darker, the only way is to use either ultramarine blue or ivory black. Like there's no. A few pigments can work too, but basically burnt umber as a brown is as dark as you can go for brown. It's very hard to go darker and still keep the brown hue. But if you use ivory black and mix it with burnt umber, it works quite well. And ivory black only makes light colors muddy, not dark colors. It makes them cool, but that's not necessarily a problem. Burnt umber can be like black, red, and blue. Yeah, kind of. It's more black and red, but I mean, why do that? It's way too complicated. Burnt umber just works well enough like it is. no, you should always have black. Like, you should always have it around because you never know. But like, that's sure that using like pure black like this is not very useful. But you can still mix it and get nice results. I'm using black for this one because I needed some a brown that was one step beyond the darkest that burnt umber could go. So ivory black only makes color muddy if you don't know how to mix colors properly. But if you control your colors and if you know what you're doing, it's not muddy. It's not gonna make anything muddy. And like, you need mud. Like, if you need a color that is close to mud, well, you need to make your colors muddy sometimes. So the excuse, yeah, ivory black makes colors muddy, is clearly people that don't know that yes, but sometimes you actually need muddy colors. So they're not always wrong. The thing is that if you don't need them and you still use them, that's what's wrong. But if you need muddy colors and you put them at the right spot, then it just works. No, it does not classify as an old master because he's quite modern. And well, but good luck if you want to copy Freud, because like his style is kind of unique, and the brush handling is going to cause you a lot of trouble, because I think Lucian Freud himself couldn't like repeat the same painting twice. Because so much is in the spontaneity of the brush handling. So if you want to copy a Freud, you'll have to ask yourself, well, do I make my own brushwork, or do I try to imitate, like, oh, there's a brush mark going this way, should I make it like this, or should I make it my own way? And if you make it your own way, it will not look the same. And if you try to just copy, it will look not spontaneous and like sort of weird. So it's not the easiest. If you want to do it, just do it. Good luck, because it's not going to be easy. yeah, because this is the whole point of Freud's style. It's about the spontaneity and how the model and the painter like sort of interact in one expressive like symbiosis, or it's like very peculiar. And to copy, not the easiest. Like if you're trying to copy for practice, it's not what you should do. You should go for a much easier artist. What about the light tones? Yeah, what about the light tones? Have you seen my video on flesh tones? Light tones are made with white. That's how far I can go. And all right, well, it's good on you. I mean, you will definitely learn a lot. In the shadows, well, it depends. Like right now, I'm still like how to say, like building the values and stuff. So I'm like only using a quite simple palette. I don't yet bring a lot of variety. But yeah, sometimes I use blue, but just black with like when you have something like skin tones, just black and white, it's enough to give a very strong shift in terms of color and hue. I don't know if you can see it. That's just ivory black and white. So it's quite strong already. I don't need to go very far. Like, look at this, it's very super gray. So yeah, you can already use black instead of blue. Black could be definitely a good element. It's almost like black and white creates blue. That's what I think. Now I never think about black in differently than oh, black equals blue. Like in my head, black equals blue. This is why I never find that black is muddy or chalky or whatever, because in my head I use it like a blue, and this makes it more usable. Black is perfectly fine, guys. It's just like white. It's a special pigment, and it needs to be treated differently. Yeah, well, it actually looks blue. Yeah, it's entirely blue. Because like raw umber is kind of greenish. So it's basically makes your own painting bluish. But like thinking as a painter, this is blue, but this is not only the only way to describe blue. Like to me, ivory black is the blue just the same. It's just that this turquoise blue is more on the green side, and ivory black is more on the blue side. But I treat them equally as blue. Like you should always categorize colors for what they stand for. Like burnt umber, even yellow ochre, burnt sienna. This is all orange. Burnt umber, orange. Even if it's like orange but more on the reddish side. Yellow ochre is orange, it's not yellow. So you should know that. Yellow ochre is not yellow, it's more orange than yellow. Except if you have like some, there are some variations on the raw yellow ochre pigments that are more on the yellowish side. But treat yellow ochre more like an orange than like a yellow. It's a yellowish orange, if you want, a very yellowish orange, if you want. And burnt sienna, of course. Venetian red, it's also an orange. It's a very reddish orange. It's like the equivalent of yellow ochre before the red, Venetian red. It's the same. It's like red oxide. Red oxide is orange. It's not red. It's a very reddish orange. But like you wouldn't use it the same way as you would use a vermilion. Just like yellow ochre, you wouldn't use it just like you would use cad yellow light, for instance. Cad yellow light is an actual yellow. Titanium white is also a color that's more on the blue side. No, fat of lean is not necessarily prima. It's more for the contrary, for painting in layers. Hey Fiona. Just the same as if you watch my video on skin tones, there's the same that what I say, except I don't use alizarin crimson. So it's basically just white, yellow ochre, burnt sienna, burnt umber, and ivory black for this one. But like I said, you could use blue as well, works the same. Just need to mix a little bit differently, but it works the same in the end. I started painting in 2014. Like, I started painting seriously. Oil painting, at least. It's okay, Maya. I don't know, I was 27. I don't know, how does it matter? Do I recommend against painting at your in-laws? No, I don't know. I don't know what you mean. But because you said law, I think it's maybe a joke, so. Oh yeah, thinking. Yeah. I understand. Well, I also generally only paint when I'm like in my studio. I have an easel, like an outdoor easel I can use, but it's not the same. Cette musique, c'est Spring in My Step de Silent Partners sur le YouTube Audio Library. No, I just wipe my brushes. You don't need to wash them, because washing them would just make them super fluid, and you don't need fluidity. The beauty of oil paint is that it's stiff, so oil paint is just stiff enough to like you don't need to go back to the you don't need to wash them all the time, because it's strong enough even if you have a brush full of dark muddy colors like this. You pick up a good quantity of light color, and you can just put it in just one straight go. But the thing is, you have to not always like dig around, like it's just 1, 2, 3 if you want. After that, the dark color is going to reappear. So I just wipe my brushes, and like every once in a while I'll clean them with mineral spirits, but it's only when it's becoming too sticky or just too messy. Yeah, watercolor is good to take with you. It's a good option. Yeah, the brush load is the key to painting, in my opinion. It's like nothing is more crucial than how much paint you have on your brush and working with it. If you're not using a lot of paint on your brush, it has to be for a good reason. And yeah, like using the right quantity is a key element. Because dropping your brush in mineral spirits every like 10 seconds is going to make it so that you always have a lot of fluidity, and fluidity is not the best. It's not the best property of oil painting, except if your goal is to glaze, but it cannot be always the case. So and sometimes even like if I have to clean up my brushes with mineral spirits because like sometimes I have to. I'll let them dry a little bit before using it because they get too fluid. Sorry, Sly, you have to behave in this chat. I'm getting timed out. Hi, oi, oi, oi. Who is she? That's a friend of mine. Actually, a friend of my wife's. She agreed to pose for me. Yeah, he's been timed out, which means like for a certain amount of time he's not allowed anymore. And if you still like trolls, I'll block I think I would need some chat rules, because I still haven't put them, but like it's kind of required, I think. Rules and moderators. Didn't need yet. So far I didn't need a moderate a lot. Yeah, hog hair is good for oil painting especially. Yeah, that's true. But I'm gonna make if if like some of the those who are often here, if you're okay to be moderators, I can make you moderators right now. So like people like Maya, Vox, Mike, because you're always here, and being a moderator would allow you to time out people, block, and like give you certain amounts of control over the chat, because I cannot always do it. Yeah, 16-year-olds are often annoying. All right, so let me see, Mike. All right. Okay, so Mike is now a moderator. Maya, I'm making you mod too. All right, so now you have like a little icon if everything works. Vox, would you like to be mod? If you don't want, I understand. Like it's not necessarily it doesn't mean that you have to be here all the time or whatever. I mean, it's just when you're here, you have a little bit more control. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you. Femox also, because you're often here. Do you want to be mod? Now that I can remove this power from them if they abuse it. And I will, for next time, I'll prepare the like chat rules, and I'll put them in the description. So basically, you don't have to trust your own judgment. Just look at the rules, and if it like breaks the rules, you just time out people, or at least like ask them nicely to behave. And that's it. It's not the greatest responsibility at all. It's just keeping things under control. But it's not like a gaming channel. Alright, so fee marks and blocks. Alright. I choose the oldest, guys, don't be jealous. Like the old ones. But it's just but with time I'll probably need more, but we'll see. Because it's like sometimes like all the mods cannot be here all the time, so maybe once I'll need new ones. We'll see. The difference is you have three main components in brushes, in hair brushes: spring, retention, and like durability overall. So what you're looking for in a good brush for oil painting is good retention, which means that it holds the paint well, and you can have a heavy load of paint and then you can really drag the brush for a long time without running out of pigments. And spring is well, this just how much it like make your brush bounce when you press it. And well, durability is the least important. I mean, who cares if you have a good brush, even if it's just here to last for a few paintings. A good brush is always better. So durability is irrelevant. Doesn't make a good brush. So hog bristle is very good in retention and is very good in spring. And yeah, that's it. So hog bristle is very good for painting. The best cleaning is if you're finished, like you have finished your painting session and you know that you're not going to paint for a while, like let's say you're done for a week at least, then the best is to wash them with soap and water, like just straight up soap, like liquid soap and water. It works really well. Will take out all the oil and pigments and clean the brushes very well. But if you like paint the next day, just drop them in a little bit of poppy seed oil, for instance, with but be careful that the brushes are not resting on the hairs. Sort of like make something so that they don't touch the ground of the, and you can just put them in oil like this and leave them like for the next day. Yeah, I also use that Dalarani graduate, this kind. And they're really cool because what I really like is the length that you get. In this, length is really important. Like you have such a good quality of control, like longer hairs means more control, like because it gives much greater how to explain, it will give you a greater range of pressure. So like with longer hair you can press hard, you can press very slightly, and it will give you all sorts of different results. So long hairs is what you want. Not super long though, it's a ratio. And they're really affordable. Well, all most hog bristles are really affordable anyway, because that's just what it says. It's hog bristle. It's not like mink. No, these ones, this only bristle. But bristles get really soft after a while. So generally an old bristle brush is better than a new one. If you've cared for it if you've taken good care of it. An old brush is usually better. Like, I'm sure we all have our like favorite old brush, because after a while it starts to sort of get used to your handling. Thank you, Vox. Thank you, Con. How can you tell if it's finished or not? Well, that's the dilemma. You can't tell if it's finished or not. That's why around the time where I kind of finish a painting, I sometimes get a small depression because I cannot tell if it's finished or not. I think it's finished, but again, I'm afraid that it could still be better. No, I'm not going through depression every time, but it's kind of like torture sometimes to decide whether it's finished or not. It's kind of mental torture. Yes, I will. Like today was just about the portrait, just finishing up. No, I don't think I'll be putting too much detail in the mirror, because it will only take away some of the focus. Color balance is really bad on this, for the shadow side. You don't see much of what's happening in the shadows. But I can see it, and I should change the color correction, I think. don't know why you cannot see. I can clearly see everything that's happening in the shadows around the eye, but on the screen it doesn't look the same, so I think it's the settings. Of the camera. Like it's one big shadow, but here in reality it's not. So, well, whatever. Would I use more geometric than organic object? No, I don't think there will be objects really. There will be just kind of lights. So more play on lights, not necessarily anything in particular. To do vanitas painting, well, I kind of like the symbolic of vanity, but not as a still life vanity. I will do a allegorical vanity. I could. All right. So I didn't have time to touch the mouth today, or the part under the nose. But this is how it goes. Slowly, very slowly. Very slowly. You've got to have one quality for a painter, is being patient. Or at least for a traditional realist. Like if you want to be a contemporary artist, that's a different question. But you have to love the patience. You're welcome, Mike. Alright, I think I'm gonna leave it now for today. So here is the larger view. You can see, like, from here, you can see the difference, the clear difference between, wait. You can see the clear difference between like many layers of paint, like right here, which has color, which is more vibrant, and like here, where I only did one single layer, just straight up paint in one go. Like it's clearly right here also, there's just one layer. It's clearly missing something. Alright. Alright, thank you everyone, and well, I see you the next time, next Wednesday, and see you soon guys, take care, bye.